Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. And coming up on the program, low turnout of civil servants as work resumes in the nation's capital, Abuja, after the Eid holidays. Pensioners in Edo threaten boycott of governorship polls. And police in Akwa Ibom State pledges to keep residents safe from criminals. We start off from the nation's capital of Abuja, where the Federal Secretariat records a very low turnout as civil servants resumed work after a long holiday to celebrate the Eid al-Fitr. When Channels Television visited the Secretariat at about 9 o'clock in the morning, very few workers showed up for work as they dropped out of their buses. Among those resuming, some hoped that the 3 days of holidays afforded not only workers to reorganize for the work ahead, but hoped that government also used the period to think of a way out of the complaints about the nation's economy.
The once lonely streets of Abuja during the public holiday are full of activities again as workers resumed from the long holiday. Although the streets are busier than they were during the holiday, our visit to the Federal Secretariat reveals that very few civil servants resumed for work.
I know so many others will come today too, but business as usual resumes on Monday.
Among those who resumed is this man who has spent over 10 years working as a civil servant. He says long holidays are not healthy for an active worker.
We Africans, we like rest more than other things. Otherwise, somebody to stay at home for 3 days doing nothing, I don't think it's regarded as it's not a help to any individual who is living fine, who is optimistic and hardworking. Cannot say resting for 3 days is an achievement. It's not an achievement.
Meanwhile, others hope that the holiday period would afford government the opportunity to fashion a way out of the economic hardship over which many have complained.
Now that the 3 days has passed, our expectation is that by this time, at least governments have been able to put their heads together, their advisors, to advise them on way forward so that there will be a betterment of tomorrow, so that many people complaining will have hope.
We still have to be optimistic and still give the government some chance to tidy up the economy because everybody has the economy pinching on him.
The federal government had extended the 2 days Eid al-Fitr holiday by 1 day, which ended on Thursday. With Friday being the last day of the working week, one expects that more workers will resume later in the day.
And to the courts now, where the Federal High Court sitting in the nation's capital of Abuja has dismissed a court action seeking to unseat National and State Assembly members representing Anambra State. Justice Adebiyi Ademola, who dismissed the suit instituted by Senator Annie Okonkwo, Chris Uba and 42 others for lacking in merit. In the judgment that lasted 1 hour, Justice Ademola explained that the claim of the plaintiffs are the rightfully nominated candidates of the People's Democratic Party in the last election, which cannot stand in the face of the law having been unlawfully nominated by the state executive of the party. The court said that it has been established in law that the power to conduct primary election, nominated candidates and submitted list of all candidates to INEC is vested on the national executive of the People's Democratic Party. We're in Edo State now, where aggrieved pensioners have drawn the battle line with the state government for the non-payment of their gratuities. Now, the retired workers say it's payback time for their pain they've had to endure and have chosen the September the 10th governorship election for their action. The pensioners have decided on this move after a general meeting held in Benin City, the Edo State capital.
Retired workers from the Edo State Civil Service convene on the Teachers' House in Benin City, the Edo State capital, for this crucial meeting. Even though they left active service at different times, there is a common problem of non-payment of entitlements by the Edo State government. Chairman of Edo State Pensioners Association, Gabriel Osun, cites factors responsible for their present predicament. He says the present condition of most pensioners is akin to that of internally displaced persons from the northern parts of Nigeria.
When you retire, you wait for the next 2 years, 2 to 3 years before your name is enrolled into the pension payroll. That is why there is backlog of arrears.
Speaking further on the issues shortly after the meeting, Mr. Osun said the Edo 2016 polls could be a perfect opportunity for pensioners to press home their demand.
We have the numerical strength. We are about 730 in number that are physically present in our meetings. We have relations, we have those depending on us, we have children. We will now tell them what to do. To tell them that a particular government is responsible for the suffering they are all passing through.
Another retiree, Mrs. Owie Christina, insists that government's claim of payment is far from the real situation of things.
In the time past, he used to pay pension arrears in batches. He will pay instrumentally. But since 2012, those who retired in 2012, he has not paid anything, pension arrears to them. So he's owing us a lot, and we want to use this avenue to appeal to him to pay us our money.
With time running out for the present administration, these senior citizens continue to plead with government to do the needful.
Well, it's not only in Edo State that pensioners have been trying to make their voices heard. In Osun State, pensioners there are also fighting for their arrears and gratuities dating back for several months. Now, the senior civil servants who left service between 2009 and 2012 are appealing to the state government to pay retirees a backlog of about 8 months. Now, the former workers who came together from all the 30 local government areas in the state say the outstanding gratuities runs into 12 billion naira.
We are being oppressed, and this is the way out to express our feelings. We feel we are not duly considered as senior citizens. Our chances are deprived us. We have unpaid pensioners. After serving for at least 35 years before we went on pension, we are still not wonderfully or beautifully treated. And the normal people hold a different opinion. They seem to feel that is asking too much when pensioners are asking for their right. They look at it as if it's a gift. Well, it's not a gift, but it's a right. And the rate at which our people die now is very alarming. And most of the deaths are very, very avoidable. If they had got enough money to take care of themselves, the unnecessary death could not have come. So we should let people know that we are suffering in silence.
When we come back on the program, we move over to Oyo State, where the state government is appealing to workers to end their industrial action. Join us again.